of course, mate. You're f***ing lucky you're fighting tomorrow, listen. You're lucky, mate. Listen. Go and look
It's okay, let him come close, man. I like this. I like this energy. I like this energy.
Yeah, what, you like the girl?
Ask you about the Conor Benn incident. From your point of view, what happened today?
From my point of view, that little insect is a coward. He waited until I was cutting weight, dehydrated.
Conor Benn headbutted Chris Eubank Jr. and literally got inside the ring to call him out. Furthermore, Chris Eubank Sr. had a message for Conor Benn. He said that his son is very dangerous since he has a huge build, and Conor should focus on fighting at 147.
Chris Eubank Jr. was a fantastic fighter, is a fantastic fighter, but he's too heavy. Okay, he is a 168-pound fighter. For him to get down to 160 now is too much for him. So Conor would be fighting someone who has lost his punch resistance, which was proven with this Mr. Smith. Again, I don't talk against my son. I'm there to protect him because I know how dangerous this young man is in Conor Benn. I know how dangerous he is. 147 fights 147. Leave Junior alone.
Meanwhile, Conor explained how his relationship went sour with Eubank Jr. when he stated that he was having an interview, and then Chris came in and started talking bad about it.
I didn't think I'd feel the way I felt. I thought it'd be, quite business, but it's very, very personal. Like I thought it would be, let's do what we got to do. Let's play the game. But it's not playing the game. It's very personal for me. It brings back a lot of trauma, definitely.
How did you two cross paths? Because I believe he would have been there for his weigh-in in the morning.
I was there doing an interview, and he pulled up and walked over and started talking shit. And thought I wasn't going to meet him halfway.
On the other hand, Chris Eubank Jr. expressed disdain for Conor Benn, labeling him a coward for confronting him while he was cutting weight and physically vulnerable. Eubank notes that Benn had the chance to confront him during a previous event, but chose not to, highlighting Benn's character as one lacking bravery. After his ringside confrontation with Eubank, Conor Benn said that he is ready to fight him anytime he can.
It's hard to contain myself with him.
He just said he's ready. He just said he's ready now. Phone's blown up. Yeah, he just said he's ready now. Well, I'm ready too. Do you know what I mean? Like, genuinely, if he wants it, he can get it. I'll genuinely jump in there now. I'll genuinely jump in there now.
Conor Benn, who goes before a UK anti-doping hearing at the end of October to determine the final judgment regarding his 2 failed drug tests in 2022, immediately entered the ring and had a heated face-off with Eubank Jr. in the presence of soccer legend Neymar. On the other hand, boxing promoter Turki Al Sheikh confirmed that he hopes to stage the grudge match between the sons of the British boxing legends Chris Eubank Sr. and Nigel Benn in May 2025. Al Sheikh said, "I think it is the time to do it." Meanwhile, Benn told Eubank Jr. before taking off his sunglasses and stepping closer to his rival, "You're lucky you're fighting tomorrow. I'll see you tomorrow after the fight. I'll get in that ring and give it to you." Benn continued with the foul language, warning a member of security, who placed his arm between the boxers, to take his hand away. Conor gave further warnings to Eubank. "I'll f*** you up. Watch what happens, dead boy walking. I'll give you a good beating in front of 60,000, that's what's gonna happen. I'll be there tomorrow, arrogant." After Conor's heated altercation with Chris Eubank before his fight with Zerametta, Benn walked away, and in a classic Eddie Hearn move, Benn's promoter tried to defuse the situation while joking around. Eddie said, "What happened there? I was getting a coffee." Then Hearn broke into a song with, "There is no business like show business." Furthermore, Conor Benn talks about Chris Eubank headbutting him in the ring this week. Benn ripped Eubank by saying that he had a really sweaty forehead, which is a shame since Conor himself never got this much work in any fight.
Well, yeah, he tried nutting me, so it is what it is, it's part of the game.
I suppose just firstly...
He had a sweaty forehead though, I was like, oh mate.
To be fair, after a fight... Sorry, we've got the Jai Abataj just won in the background.
Yep, round 6.
Round 6. In his defence, he is going to have a sweaty forehead after a...
Oh, no, pretty grim though. I mean, he shouldn't have had a sweaty head with the opponent he had, personally. I don't think I was sweating that much given, I went 12 rounds in my last fight and 10 the fight before. And they were 10 times better than Zerametta.
Moreover, Conor Benn talked about Eubanks' demeanor before his fight with Zaramita. Benn stated that he looked like a fool when he came in with a sword at the face-off. Benn further commented, "He's just an idiot. He's just an idiot. Ain't really much else to say. You know, he's a bad log." Additionally, Conor admired Neymar for being present in the ring with Eubank, and he told Neymar that his boy Chris will be getting a beating. Conor said that Neymar laughed at the statement, which makes him skeptical whether he understood what Benn had said, or whether he laughed because it was true. On the other hand, former boxer Carl Froch thinks that Conor Benn is a lovely kid, but he is not ready to fight the likes of Chris Eubank Jr. because he hasn't fought in 3 years.
But Conor Benn, I mean, this is a guy that's not fought in Britain for 3 years. I think his last fight was in April 2022. And every time he talks, every time he gets in Chris Eubank's face over the last couple of days, I do feel for him a little bit. Can I first just say that Conor Benn, I know him and I've met him a few times, and he's such a nice kid, such a lovely, lovely young man. And when I say that, I mean, oh, he's lovely, and he's obviously a fighter, and he wants to get in there and he wants to do some damage and hurt his opponent and get the knockout, and that's how he fights, and he's exciting when he fights. But he's not fought anybody. And he's talking like a roadman killer.
Carl Froch further commented on the state of Conor Benn by saying, "He's talking like a roadman killer, he's not been busy, he's fought no one. And can you answer me a question as well? What's happening with this drug testing issue? Is he banned? Is he serving a ban? Is there any official news? Because as far as I know, he's still not got a British boxing border control license. To fight, he still can't box? So does anybody know? Let me know in the comments." On the opposite end, Chris Eubank Jr. confirmed that he did not initiate the confrontation with Conor Benn, emphasizing that Benn's bravado stems from Eubank being in a vulnerable state while cutting weight. Eubank sarcastically remarks on Benn's newfound boldness, suggesting that he only felt brave knowing Eubank was at a disadvantage. He reiterated his commitment to focus on the upcoming fight, highlighting his determination to stay concentrated on his performance in the ring and dismissing any distractions.
"Don't f*** up the bag," or something like that. He shouted it. I didn't even know.
He left our interview to when he saw you walking.
Okay, well, I didn't approach him.
No, you didn't approach him.
I heard him shout something, and I turned around and I was like, wow, look at this guy, he's here. How big the balls have grown now that he knows I'm cutting weight. Listen, it is what it is. I'm here to do a job, I'm here to fight tomorrow, that's all I'm focused on. And until then, I actually don't even want to think about or see or hear about that kid again.
While Conor Benn approached Eubank as he was preparing to fight his next opponent, he said, "Hey Chris, don't f*** up the bag, son. Don't f*** up the bag." When Conor Benn shoved Eubank, he responded while smiling, "It's okay, let him come close. I like this energy." Eubank Jr. labeled Conor a kid, with Benn then accusing him of arrogance. Later on, Chris Eubank Jr. tweeted about Conor on his social media. "This little weasel Conor Nigel waited to the day I'm starving and dehydrating myself making weight to grow some balls and pull up on me." A fight between Benn and Eubank Jr. has been pushed for quite some time now, and both fighters appear keen on continuing to build it up until they can square away the particulars to make a fight between them happen. In addition to all the drama that went on display, Conor Benn revealed that the fight between him and Eubank has already been made, and he sees an early stoppage.
Talk me through, I suppose, the last 24 hours or so. I mean, how soon can we get this fight made, Conor?
The fight's made.
The fight's done?
Fight's made.
Signed?
Not signed, but the fight's made. It's done.
Okay. February?
God willing.
How does it go?
Stoppage. Early.
Chris Eubank Sr. and Nigel Benn had two historic fights in the 1990s, with Eubank Sr. stopping Benn to win the world middleweight title in a fight still widely considered to be one of the best in British boxing history. The pair then fought to a draw 3 years later. Their sons, Benn and Eubank Jr., were supposed to follow in those footsteps for a scheduled 2022 Born Rivals fight. However, Benn failed a drug test in the build-up, forcing the British Boxing Board of Control to refuse to sanction the contest. Additionally, Chris Eubanks' stoppage win over Zaramita didn't impress Conor Benn at all, since he said, "You looked shit in there tonight. You can't fight me like that. You'll get done in 3 rounds." In a conversation with IFL TV, Eubank Jr. expressed his intention to squash Benn. The 35-year-old boxer also admitted that Turki Alalshik was eager for the fight, and therefore the fight would happen soon. He declared, "Conor Benn is next on the hit list. I want to squash this kid, man. I want to get him out of boxing. Turki Alalshik wants that fight, so the fight's gonna happen." Chris further added on Benn, "I want to beat him so badly that he doesn't want to ever fight again. This sport has no place for cheats." Chris Eubank Jr. completely belittled Conor Benn by stating that he is a mere insect. Eubank declared war over Conor and said that he will come after Benn once he has dealt with his immediate opponent.
About the Conor Benn incident, from your point of view, what happened today?
From my point of view, that little insect is a coward. He waited until I was cutting weight, dehydrated, and malnourished to come and step to me. And he showed his true colors. But at the end of the day, I'm not worried about Conor Benn. I'm not thinking about that guy. I got to go out there and I got to deal with this tough opponent in Kamil Gazaremeta. After I've dealt with Kamil, Conor's next.
Meanwhile, Conor Benn said that he was innocent when he failed the drug tests. Conor commented, "I've been proving my innocence. Forget the narrative that's being pushed. I was cleared 1.5 years ago by the people who had done the test. I had passed all my UCAD tests during that same period. So, their authority, I had passed. Critics say I haven't done this, I haven't done that. But the reality is, I've gone through every avenue possible to do that." Conor Benn doesn't believe that the drug tests were right and continues to show that he is innocent. He further stated, "This is something I'm willing to fight for and have fought for, and I'm glad it's coming to an end. I haven't bent, I haven't swayed on the truth, and that's all that matters to me. My integrity. I couldn't accept the ban. If I ain't done something, I won't raise my hand to it. Never this. I stay true in what I believe in. And the easy option would be, yeah, I'll just take this. But I continue to fight and spend hundreds of thousands, missing out on big opportunities." Benn is hoping to become a welterweight champion after announcing himself as one of the best fighters in the division. Belts could soon come up for grabs when Terrence Crawford versus Errol Spence Jr. decide upon their rematch. If it takes place at super welterweight, then in theory all 4 belts could be vacated. Meanwhile, Conor Benn waited for no one as soon as he got the chance to go in the ring against Chris Eubank. He said that His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh definitely wants him to win the fight against Chris.
It doesn't matter what he says, because he's an idiot. I've never seen anybody get in the ring faster than you got in the ring after his fight. Like, I looked around, I thought something else was happening. Listen, I got presented the opportunity by His Excellency. I was like straight in there. You ain't gonna ask me twice. You ain't gonna ask me twice, I'm in there. Now, who do you think His Excellency wants to win this fight? I can't tell. Oh, definitely me. Definitely me. He knows who's winning.
Conor Benn is head over heels at getting a chance to fight Chris Eubank Jr. and explained how he will KO Eubank in the ring.
What happens when you get in the ring with Chris Eubank Jr.?
The first round, I'm going to come out here, so I'm done. Come out. Straight over the top of his head, do you know what I mean? And then, you know, when he's going all right, I'm going to fucking crack over a bit of that.
Frank Warren addressed Conor Benn's licensing issue, explaining that Benn cannot move forward with any fight until his license is resolved. Frank acknowledges the ongoing tension between Conor Benn and Chris Eubank Jr., but emphasizes that nothing can happen until Benn gets his license back. He predicts that this situation will be settled in the next couple of weeks.
Conor Benn and Chris Eubank Jr. having a little...
I've only seen somebody show me the film earlier on, yeah. But you know what? He's got to get his licence first. He's got to be licensed. So before he gets his licence, we'll see what happens. Obviously, there's no love lost there between the two of them, and we'll see what happens. I think that's going to. I think in the next couple of weeks that will all, one way or another, be resolved.
Furthermore, Chris Eubank shared his experience with the Saudis as he was fighting on the undercard of the Artur Beyterbiev versus Dmitry Bivol bout. He said that Turki Al-Sheikh told him to finish his opponent in the 7th round, and that is what he did.
The experience was great. You know, I'm happy with the performance. I got cut, which I'm very upset about, but you play with fire, sometimes you get burnt. I chose not to take him out in the 1st round, and that cost me a cut, but we had fun in there. We learnt in there. We experienced what it was like to go through a camp with Jonathan Banks, to go through a weight cut, and to go through the Saudi event. This is an amazing event. I didn't want it to be over in 30 seconds. Turkey told me in the 7th round, he shouted, "Finish him!" I said, "You want me to finish him?" He said, "Finish him!" So
He gave you one of these.
He gave me one of those.
Moreover, Chris Eubank shared that he doesn't mind Conor Benn stepping in the ring to call him out, since this would be one of the best British fights in boxing. Eubank commented, "Do I look like anything ever gets under my skin? It's not that I like it. You know, I don't like an idiot getting in front of me while I'm trying to cut weight and pushing me. Of course, I don't like that. I don't like somebody getting into the ring and putting his head in my face, you know. But I understand that this guy wants to take me out." Conor Benn was adamant at getting a piece of Eubank Jr. and claimed that the fight has already been made. Eddie Hearn approves of Conor's statements and said that His Excellency wants to make the fight happen as well.
He just talks rubbish. Yeah. I smell fear. He just talks rubbish. It's just rubbish talk. You know, there's no thought behind it.
So, you know, from now then, what's the process? How do we get
the fight's done? The fight's done.
The fight's done already?
It's done.
Yeah.
It's done.
Eddie, the fight's done?
What?
He's saying the fight's done. It's done, huh?
His Excellency wants to make it happen.
Yeah.
We'll deal with some business, but I don't see any other fight for anyone.
Do you think Conor Benn will fight Eubank Jr. in 2025? Who do you see stopping the other one first? We would love to hear your thoughts. Let us know in the comments section below and subscribe for more content like this.